Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to be mixing together all of the things, all of the products. Every step of my makeup routine today is going to be mixed products. I just love mixing together makeup. I think it's a really fun way to create new colors, new textures, discover new ways to use your products. It's a really awesome way to get like the most use out of your makeup collection. So every step of my makeup application today, I am going to be mixing together at least two products. I think all of them are just going to be two products. We're going to keep it a little bit easy. Well, maybe the eyeshadows a little bit more. Let's go ahead and get started though. I cannot wait to get some of these concoctions on my face. For my base, I am going to be mixing together a primer and a sunscreen. Yes, mixing together the primer and the sunscreen is going to ruin the integrity of the sunscreen, but I am not too worried about it. I'm also going to be putting on a foundation with SPF, so I just think the combination of it all is going to be fine, and I'm also like not going to be soaking up the sun today. But the primer I'm using today is the Classic Milk Hydro Grip, and then the SPF is the Say Sun Visor. This has an SPF of 35 and it's a sheer moisturizer. I have been just obsessed with it. It's been a go-to sunscreen for me lately, that and the Kula one, but I've just been using those on and off. The Kula one I don't think looks as good by itself as the Say one does on my skin. I think if you are more fair, the Kula one would be a go-to for you. I'm curious to see how these two products mix together. They were kind of like repelling each other a little bit. Yeah, hopefully that was not a mistake. Who really knows? Usually though, the Say one has like a little bit more color to it, so it doesn't look light or anything when it's being applied, but it does have a really beautiful, beautiful glow. I think kind of just mixing it with the Hydro Grip changed the color just a smidge, but this is looking so pretty on the skin. So for my foundation, I'm going to be mixing together a foundation and then a tinted moisturizer. This is the Kosas Revealer Foundation, and it has an SPF of 25. And then I'm going to mix it with the LA Girl Tinted Foundation. So we have like a little high-end drugstore mixing going. I'm currently using the shade Medium Neutral 220 in the Kosas Revealer Foundation. And the shade that I pulled for the LA Girl Tinted Foundation is the medium beige shade. I've been finding that the Kosas Revealer Foundation can be a little bit deep on my skin, just depending on like what lighting I'm in. And it's also pretty warm toned. So I'm hoping that the LA Girl will sheer it out a little bit to have it be a little bit more of like a true medium coverage, but then also lighten it up a little bit and then kind of add a little bit of like neutraliness to it just so it matches me a little bit better. I'm going to blend it in with a beauty blender or a makeup sponge. This is not a real beauty blender. Mixing together complexion products honestly is like my favorite thing to do. Mixing together foundations and tinted moisturizers, and then even foundations and primers or foundations and moisturizers. I like all of the mixing, and I've honestly been wanting to do a video like this for so long. These mix together really nicely, and I think it did exactly what I was wanting it to do, just kind of sharing out the Kosas Revealer Foundation and also making it match me a little bit better. I think that this was a beautiful combo. So same kind of theme with the concealer here. We're doing a high-end drugstore mix. I'm mixing the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Concealer. I use mine in the shade 280. I'm mixing that with the NYX Bare With Me Concealer Serum, and I've been using this one in the shade Golden. The concealer serum, it's not sheer, it's not a sheer formula, but it's definitely not like a full coverage formula, and it is a little bit more creamy, a little bit more glowy. And then the Fenty Beauty one is more full coverage and then has kind of like a moussey matte natural finish. So this is the concealer that I came up with. I feel like it's way more like creamy and almost glossy looking than the Fenty Beauty one usually is. So I'm pretty excited to see what this looks like. And I'm just going to apply it everywhere that I usually apply concealer. And again, I'm going to blend it out with my sponge as well. I wish I knew more about how my camera worked because, I don't know, I feel like the lighting is like I think the colors look okay in the video, but the lighting is a little bit too bright. I don't know what's going on. I like this combo a lot too. Oh, wow, my skin is looking gorgeous. I'm applying a little bit more concealer underneath my eyes just because I have so much left over. I closed a window and I turned the camera exposure down like just one little notch. I don't even know if that's the right setting, like the exposure of the camera. I don't know. I need to take a class or something. That's probably what I need to do. But it looks so much better, so we're gonna keep going. This is what the skin looks like. It's gorgeous. It's flawless. Like this is what I love to work with. Like that is so pretty. So this is like, I don't know. It makes like a little bit of sense to me because it's still kind of mixing two products together. But I am going to use my DHC eyelash tonic. This is an eyelash conditioner that I've just been using as brow growth serum. I, for some reason, don't like lash serums that have spoolies. I only like lash serums that have little brushes that you can like line your lash line with. So I've just been using this through my brows. I'm pretty sure it does the same exact thing. The Milani highly rated one is what I've been using on my lashes, and I swear they've been growing. I think that you can use like any lash serum, like whether it's high-end or drugstore, and your lashes will grow as long as you're consistent. So yeah, you do not need to spend lots of money. Like there are some lash serums that are so expensive for no reason. So this is the Pacifica Highest Def Hemp Fiber Brow Set. Lately, this brow product has been a little bit dry for me, but I did this the other day where I mixed the brow serum in with this product. So I just applied the brow serum first and then immediately applied the Pacifica brow gel. And it was lovely. Like it was a really, really great combination, because I do like this brow gel a lot. It's like up there with my Kosas one, but it does get a little bit dry sometimes and like ends up being flaky. So I think just having this like wet base underneath of it totally helps. To clean up my brows, I'm taking a clean spoolie and I'm just going around my brows with the clean spoolie. I feel like also doing this with like castor oil would probably work really well, like mixing together castor oil with like a drier formula brow gel. For my eyes, I pulled out some of my Danessa Myricks color fixes. I really want to do a full video and like swatch all of the color fixes that I own. These are not all of them. I have quite a bit more in my little makeup room. But yes, I really want to do a review like that, just swatching all of them and then doing like, I could do a full face with the color fixes. So hopefully I get around to doing that soon. I recently introduced the yellow shade to my collection because the browns, in my opinion, just have so much red to them. So I picked up yellow to help with that issue and just kind of, I guess, warm them up or like neutralize them a little bit. It works. It totally works. And I've been really enjoying that, like mixing the yellow in with some of the browns that I have to create a brown that's like more flattering on me. Before I go in with the color fixes, I am going to prime my eyes, just using the Urban Decay Primer Potion. We're not mixing anything together for this, this is just it. And then I have this really adorable little Danessa Myricks ring plate that I'm going to use to mix the colors on. I'm going to start off first with the primary yellow shade and then gingerbread. So that's the brown that I created. It's just going to be like the perfect transition-y shade for my crease. Even though these are like a liquid cream, I still use my regular makeup brushes with them. I find that they perform the same, like they're just still really easy to work with. I feel like cream and liquid formula eyeshadows could be intimidating for some people, but honestly just treat them like you would like a powder shadow. Just know that you might need to spend a little bit more time blending. But I find them to be really fun, especially just like the mixing aspect to them. I also want to take a little bit of chocolate and mix it in with the primary yellow shade. I haven't done that yet. Chocolate was the first brown that I ever got from Danessa Myricks, and I remember being pretty disappointed about how red it was, like how just red and almost purpley it would show up on me. So I'm really hoping that mixing in the yellow will change that and just make like a more perfect brown. Yes. Yeah, that brown is perfect. That brown is perfect. I can't wait for my Danessa Myricks video. I just feel like I'm going to be able to mix together so many things and create so many shades, and it's just going to be really fun. But I am taking that brown that we just created and I'm putting it kind of on the outer lash line, like smudging it along the lash line just with a smaller eyeshadow brush. I might need to use the one that we used before, but this is how I just like to do my eyeshadow like all of the time. Add a good transition shade and then a deeper shade like smoked out on the lash line. This got brought up a little bit higher than I usually go, but I still am liking the look of that, and I'm going to put other shadows on over top of it. But yes, that created the perfect brown, the perfect brown. I'm really happy with that. I'm definitely curious to see how these are going to mix together just because the formulas of these are a little bit different. This is the shade Celebration and then this is the shade Ballerina. I love both of these shades a lot by themselves, but I have not ever mixed them together. They say they're both cream, but I do find the Ballerina shade to just be a little bit more liquidy than the Celebration shade. So let's see, hopefully they don't kind of like reject each other. I don't know. That's pretty. That's really pretty. I just picked it up with a fluffy eyeshadow brush and I'm gonna put it all over my eyelid. This is looking really gorgeous. I do feel like the shimmer in Ballerina was definitely muted quite a bit by the Celebration shade, and Celebration does have some glitter to it, or not glitter, just has some shimmer to it, but I feel like it's definitely more of like a satin than a true shimmer. But I do think that the glitter in Ballerina is still peeking through a little bit. I'm just taking the blending brush that we've been using in the crease and I'm going over the blend just to make sure that everything is like nice and seamless. What I'm going to do, because I just really like the look of Ballerina so much, is I'm taking it just on its own and I'm popping it like in the middle of the eyelid just to bring some brightness back to the look. I was kind of hoping that Ballerina would lighten up Celebration a bit more, but it seems like the deepness of Celebration was definitely going to shine through. I really like this eye look. This is so pretty. I'm going to take a little bit of my Danessa Myricks Color Fix in the shade Nude 5, and I'm taking it on like a fluffy eyeshadow blending brush kind of thing. And I'm just going to lightly work around the eye look just to make sure everything is like tidy and cleaned up. I need to quickly clean off this little thing because once the color fixes dry, they are dry, and like I have little palettes where I've mixed the color fixes on ages ago and I cannot get them off because I did not wipe it off immediately. Alright, so mascara. I did pick out 2 mascaras that I'm going to be using today. So I'm just curling my lashes to prep. So I grabbed my Milani The Falsies Lash Lift Mascara, and then I grabbed the ColourPop Level Up Lengthening Mascara. My Falsies Lash Lift is a little old, I think, and the mascara the other day when I applied it was going on just like the littlest bit clumpy. So I was hoping that the Level Up mascara from ColourPop would help with like any separation and lengthening, while this one does like a lot of volumizing. I don't layer mascaras very often at all, but I know that that's like a super duper common step in makeup. People usually have like 2 mascaras that they really like and that they layer. The mascara looks great. Like, My lashes are looking really great. I don't even think I'm gonna bother going through with a lash separator just because they look perfect, like as is. So yeah, eyes are done. I love it. Moving on to my cheeks, I'm going to be mixing together the Milk Makeup Bionic Bronzer. I have mine in the shade Shapeshift. And then I'm mixing that in with the Fenty Beauty Cream Bronzer. I have mine in the shade Macchiato. I'm actually just going to scoop the bronzer out with my nail, get it on the back of my hand. That's probably way too much. I probably don't use that amount at all when I'm usually doing my makeup. Giving the Bionic Bronzer a good shake. The Fenty one has like all of these little hairs in it. Whatever. I'm just mixing them. Let's see. Hopefully these mix all right. The Macchiato shade from my Fenty Beauty Cream Bronzer is just like a little bit too light. And the Shapeshift one, although it blends out to be very beautiful, it is like a deeper bronzer shade on me. I think mixing them together is going to be really nice, and it just created like the most beautiful creamy thick consistency. Okay. I love it. I love it. I love bronzer just like in general. I felt like I would love this, and I do. I do. It's fantastic. Oh, I love that color. Wow. And the consistency is gorgeous. I was kind of also like in the back of my mind a little bit afraid for just like the products to kind of repel each other. They are different formulas. The Milk Bionic is like a gel, and the Fenty bronzer is like a true cream. So yeah, there's always that possibility for the products to really just like not mesh, but wow, is that pretty. And the finish is so beautiful and just like creamy natural. Before blush, I am going to do a highlight. I also brought in another Bionic cheek product from Milk. This is their Bionic Highlight or Bionic Glow in the shade Virtual. And then I also grabbed the Say Glowy Super Gel in Star Glow. These are like really the only two liquid highlighters that I'm wearing, at least at the moment. So I just figured, why not? Why not mix them? This probably would have been really good to mix with the base too. But yeah, it's just creating this very like pretty glow. I'm just going to apply it with my finger. It's pretty, it's cute. For my blush, I was kind of torn on like whether I should keep the blushes from the same brand, like the same blush formula just in different colors, or if I should mix together formulas. I decided to just keep them from the same formula, just different colors, mainly because I have been so curious to see what these two blushes look like mixed together. These are the LA Girl Soft Matte Cream blushes, and I have mine in the shade Grace and Blissful. So I ended up swatching the two blush shades over here, and then that is what they look like mixed. Definitely Blissful is shining through. Like you can barely tell that I put Grace in, and I put probably like an equal amount of both in the shade. I am mixing a little bit more of Grace into this mixture because I do really like that shade. And okay, that's pretty. That's really cute. We're gonna go with that. Just applying it straight to the cheeks. I love this formula. It's so slept on. Like I don't see anybody talking about this formula, and the blushes are so cheap. LA Girl goes on sale pretty frequently at Ulta. It's such a beautiful like liquid blush that does dry to be like a little bit more matte, maybe like a satin matte, you know, because it is a cream. I think that if you have oily skin or just like textured skin, you'd probably love this as like a really creamy blush alternative. I did grab two lip liners. I'm just gonna use both of them. I'm using my LA Girl lip liner in Sugar and Spice. And then also my Milani lip liner in 09. Just layering them. They're like a little bit different. The 09 lip liner from Milani is a little bit more, I think, like has a little bit more red to it, and it's a little deeper. I recently got the Milani lipstick in the shade Secret, and it's just like a little bit too pink on its own for me. I left the blush on there in case I wanted to reapply some of the blush in a little bit. So I grabbed my Juvia's Place lipstick in the shade Toffee, which is like a true brown shade, and I want to mix these together. I'm curious to see how I like that. Juvia's Place though has had some like recent problematic posts on Instagram, but this was like the only brown lipstick that I had in my collection, so I am going to use it because it is in the collection. But yeah, just an FYI. I'm actually going to blot. So I took a little bit of the color off, and now I'm going to go in with the Milani lipstick. Is that perfect? Is that a perfect pinky brown nude? I'm not mixing together like any powders or anything. This is just my Kosas Cloud Set, and I have mine in the shade Feathery. I'm just going to dust my skin. And yeah, I'm glad I left some of my blush on the back of my hand because I am going in with just a small amount more. And just to keep with the theme of mixing together things, I am going to mix together my setting sprays. So these are my two favorite setting sprays, the Urban Decay All Nighter and then the Milk Hydro Grip. I've been using the Milk Hydro Grip way more often recently, but yeah, the Urban Decay All Nighter is still a great one. I'm going to go in first with the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip just because it's a little bit more glowy, and then we'll finish off with the more matte one. All right, Urban Decay. The Urban Decay one feels like more refreshing in my opinion. Just because the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip one, it almost feels like a little bit heavy on the skin. Not like once it's dried down, but like when you're applying it, it definitely feels like a little heavy. But oh, this makeup is so gorgeous. I wanted to give you just a close-up. I'm not going to do like a wear test or anything, but yeah. Here's a close-up of the makeup. That just looks so bomb. It just looks so good. So this is the final look. I'm obsessed. I'm just obsessed with it. I really love mixing together my makeup, and this just totally solidified it. I don't think I've ever done a look where every step of my makeup routine has been mixed together, but yeah, no, this is flawless, gorgeous, giving me everything that I love and want in my makeup, and it just looks so good. Hopefully this inspires you to use what's in your collection, mix together those products, create something new, create some new colors, some new formulas, and really just make the most of what you already have, because truly what you already have, like if you're watching these videos, if you're watching these makeup videos, you must have like at least a little bit of variety. Mix them, like just mix it all together and just see what you can come up with, because I bet you'll be pleasantly surprised. That is going to be it from me today though. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you aren't already subscribed, definitely go ahead and do so, and hopefully I will see you next time.